Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is not Station 19. I just did that. This is Grey's Anatomy, season 10, episode 11. A hard pill to swallow. Uh, boy, oh boy. What I will say is that Mick Widow is fine. He fine. Him bending down and tying Amelia's shoe, that was everything. And if I'm ever pregnant or anything, I would want him to tie my shoe for me. Like literally, that's what he did. He tied her shoe, and I would definitely be okay with him tying my shoe. Yeah. So this episode pretty much starts off. They're hitting all the points today. Amelia tells Link that he may not be the father of the baby. And off the bat, she's like, bro, I love you. I love this about you. I love that about you. And I'm falling in love with you. And the way he took it, it was kind of like he was going to be fine with it and just move on from it. But, once he heard the patient start talking to him, he's like, bro, maybe I'm not fine with this, but, hey. So they just kind of plan to take it day by day. And Joe, she's like, are you just doing that thing where you pretend like everything's okay, but you're really having anxiety on his side? He's like, no. Oh, that was kind of funny. It was nice to see Joe this week, but I love how much they know each other. I really appreciate that about the writing, is that Link and Joe, they have that relationship from their past. I hope one day we can get like a past scenes episode on them. That would be pretty dope. To see how they met, or like even just tell us how they met and the story behind it. Only thing I know is about Caress and asking Joe about like why he didn't protect her from Joe's ex-husband. And so yeah, that's pretty much all we know about their backstory. But I would like to see a lot more and hear a lot more about it. Teddy, she lost her ring and Owen's day off, and he comes and he's like, we need to start planning weddings. She just starts bursting out in tears. She's like, she's bursting out in tears, and she's like, bro, I lost the ring. And it turns out the baby Leo, he swallowed the ring. And I thought that was pretty funny. But who would think of them to get an X-ray? What would make you think? Not a CT or X-ray. I don't know I think it was an X-ray. Who would think to just get an X-ray just because your son threw up? But hey, that's doctors. I guess that's what doctors, jump to conclusions and think about, because they said he wasn't feeling good. So hey, he'll poop the ring out and she'll have it on eventually. I completely and utterly miss Maggie, and I need her back in my life, bro. Her nonchalantness is needed on this show. She is the replacement for Christina, and I need that nonchalant vibe every week. And that's something I am missing for the last 2 episodes. Next week she will be back, and I am so excited. She'll be back in how she normally is on the show. She was on this episode, but her and Richard, they talk and everything about Sadie and how she felt about it and everything. And it's like, he wants to be mad, but he can't. Man, that's his child. Like, you can't hold that against your child. And he's like, bro, I blame myself. I pushed you. I shouldn't have pushed you. And I'm just like, yeah, the big love. And he tells a story about his mom, about how like he would get mad and he would be an angry child, and she would be like, let's talk after we eat. He didn't get in trouble or anything. She just said, let's talk after we eat. And so they would make pancakes, and then that's what they did. In turn, they started to make pancakes. So that was kind of nice to see him pass the tradition down to his daughter, which is pretty cool. And I'm trying to think, how old do you actually think that Maggie is? Because I don't know. I'm kind of guess that Meredith Grey, this show's been on for 16 seasons. She was a resident. I mean, she was an intern when it started, which means she was probably, what, 24 to 26 because she took a year off and went to Europe. So she's from anywhere from 24 to 26, which makes that 16 years. So that's like 40. She's 42. I'm guessing around 42, which would make Maggie around like 36. I want to say she's like 36. She graduated high school at like what? She went to college at 16. She was an intern probably by like 2021. She went on the shows just like stuff. I don't know. I'm rambling. I just really wonder how old that she is. But hey, I guess I'll never know. I just want to know because when you're a child prodigy of smartness, you just want to know these things about those type of people, and that's just something you would think that they would share because that's if you're going to be a child prodigy, then how old are you now? So yeah, that's just something I don't know. I think about. And I will say I'm very sick of Tom Karasik. I can't stand the dude. He's crap. He's mean. He's rude. He's annoying. He's crap. He's mean. He's rude and annoying. He's questioning Bailey about why she took 3 days leave when she's got three residents out. And I get that. You want to know, but you're playing that card like you're really in charge because Bailey is mad. I mean, Bailey, oh gosh, what's her name? Karen. No, her name's not Karen. Catherine. She's mad right now at Bailey, so she puts Tom over her, and it's like he's using that card, like, bro. So she's cheap, but she's not cheap. So what is he? What is his job? He's just to be in charge of Bailey. So hey, I don't know, but that's kind of crap. He's crap. And so, but then she finally tells him, like, bro, I wasn't just lollygagging. I was at home in my bed drinking tea and crying. I had a miscarriage. And he's like, well, you could have just told me that. Typical man. I don't have to tell you anything. I could take my sick days if I want to take my sick days. And, she's like, well, I just didn't. And then she starts walking away and he's like, light a candle. And he goes into the story about, like, how his ex-wife, they had a miscarriage at like 6 weeks, they had 10 weeks, and they had a miscarriage at 18 weeks. And then his son died. So it's kind of like, man, this dude's been some hard stuff. No wonder he's so, dude is kind of like, he's angry. Like, I see why he's angry. He thought he finally found love with Teddy, and, that didn't happen. And then, he's lost so much in his life. He's lost 3 children, so he lights candles for them, like he said. But it's kind of like, man, we need him to get some love in his life. So who's going to be his new love interest? Maybe it'll be Maggie. Somebody's got to be his love interest. Like, possibly it could be Maggie. It could be Joe. With Karevly, man. Maybe it'll be Joe. I don't know who else could be. But, he needs love in his life. So Meredith works with Dr. McWidow, and he's like, did Christina, she said, did Christina send you? He's like, who's Christina? And she's like, never mind. But, everybody knows Christina Yang. And because, Christina sent him as a present. And she's like, bro, is this personal, professional, this, and that. And she's like this. I don't know. I love how that little emoji looks just like, it don't look exactly like, but it's like her. And I'm like, bro, that scene was kind of funny. But they worked well together, even though, they didn't agree with some of the things each other were saying. They still worked well together. And then they also, even though they didn't judge each other's mistakes. And and that was pretty cool to see, you know, because usually on this show we see a lot of doctors who, you know, work together, but they're you know, they get competitive and they get mad at each other, and then they kind of judge each other's mistakes. But with them, they just kind of say, oh, it's okay, we all have to learn somehow. And through he was saying, you know, I made this mistake once before, and the colleague I was working with told me I was wrong, and she said, can I ask who was his colleague? And he said, Dr. Yang. And she just like, yeah, I could see that. And he's like, you know her? So Christina is up to some crazy stuff, and I'm really, you know, want to see like, whoa, what is that about? So, you know, hey, but I like the Luca and Gray together. I just feel that. So maybe Joe will end up with Miss Dr. McWidow. Maybe that'll happen. That'll be great. I can see that happening too. So yeah, that would be great. I like that. I don't know. I like it. But hey, that was pretty much it for this episode too. You know, second episode back. It's not gonna be very great, like I say all the time. But you know, hey, it is what it is. It was steady. It was paceful. It was better than Station 19, because Station 19 was about one person mostly. Stories, you know, weren't there. Love wasn't there. But next week, I'm excited for next week to see Jackson, Avery, and Maggie back in the same room. Two people that used to date, right? And then, you know, his new girlfriend. He's bringing Vic from Station 19. He's gonna bring her on. And then, you know, Vic's gonna bring Miller. And it totally did not click in my mind that sometime last season, Dean came to the hospital and Maggie was there, and they kind of had a moment. That just came to me. So maybe Maggie will have relations with Dean. So they'll have 3 couples crossed over from the series. I would totally love that. Or maybe, because Warren's going to start that program I forgot to mention in the Station 19 episode. Warren's going to have he wants to start the doctors, you know, I think I did mention it, by the way. I don't know what I'm talking about. But, you know, maybe Maggie will go be one of those doctors and they'll be on the same show. That would be dope. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, so next week is going to be nice to watch. And, yeah. So, that is pretty much it. And I will see you guys next week, next Monday for Love and Hip Hop. And catch me on the flip side. Comment, like, subscribe. Goodbye.